This is technology. Only is great when it's working. So yeah, welcome. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. And you are looking at here with live at Nicky Dare. I know I gotta jump in here and I gotta do this book club with Nicky Dare. It's been a while. We have done this club thing since pandemic started. Well, why? Because it just makes sense. Everybody was looking for community. Everybody was looking for, space that we still can connect and network together. And then I created this book club, Nicky Dare, just because there's so many things that we still want to continue doing while the world shut down, right, at the time. I'm happy to announce, I don't know, don't quote me on this. I believe we have done 52 episodes, if it's not more. But then I stopped. You guys already know when you stop, you're not being consistent, and then you lost all of this, right? But that's exactly what it is, guys. I mean, I am part of that epitome of just, when you try and experiment things and you try this and then it was working, and then shit happens. You fall into this sort of challenges in your life, whether it is just circumstances, and then you stop doing these things, right? And you're being inconsistent about it. And I think the key is try to get back up again, right? And try it again, and then bring that failure, bring that mistake, so bring whatever that is, setbacks, um, into you, and then it's a matter of just getting back up again, and then try it again and try it again. It's progress. That's the word of the day, by the way. Word of the day on Friday, February 10th, 2023. Progress. Progress is what separates the doers of doing not doing things when this shit happens, and the winners who are, notice I don't say losers, right? The winners that's striving and continue to keep moving forward. And I think that's what we all need to be reminded ourselves, that we need to involve progress into our efforts of striving and striving for excellence. All right, so the goal of the book club for Nicky Dare is really to build a thriving community, a community that makes really significant, meaningful discussions, and fostering all these meaningful discussions and personal growth through our shared for literacy works, basically, whether it is just writing, reading, right? Writing, reading. So authors, welcome. Readers, welcome. Writers, welcome. And those of you who are listening and watching this, and you are in the edge of just, yeah, I want to write a book. I just don't know how. I don't know where to start. This is it. This is a place, this is a space where you commune with us, meet with us. I'm going to turn down a little bit this music background. I love it when I'm working. I always have the Starbucks music on. Yeah, and enjoying the Starbucks. Mm. So this is I opened this the space originally for everyone to get involved, and just to network, mainly, primarily, and also to get inspiration, to receive that, and share. It's a dual dialogue kind of thing, and I want to make it happen that way. Who come here to read and discuss their books if they already have it, or just to listen to it, right, to get inspiration, like I said, and providing opportunity for book enthusiasts and writers and readers to exchange ideas and insights on just various literacy works. And that's exactly my goal, my personal goal. If you look at the this is cool, book club at nickydare.com. It's got all that information, how to get in here and then things like that, and books and courses at nickydare.com. All right, so that's the introduction. And this session, basically, I just want to jump in here and then reintroduce myself, reintroduce this book club to you guys in different spaces here. And I just love, how when we get caught up, and all of us thinks like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do back in 2020? That is, what are we going to do? The whole world shut down, the global disruption is here, and what are we going to do? Everybody's like in fear, right? But there are so many opportunities within that when we look into deeper into this, setbacks, into these challenges that we faced. Look at us right now, 2023. What have you done since then? We have built so many things together, right? We have built so many things out of that circumstances that we went through. And here we are, we're still here, right? 2023. That was back in 2020 when we said, oh my gosh, what to do? We gotta have to do this. Adaptability, for one. Progress is always important. That's the word of the day. Now, I told you that. Word of the day on Friday, February the 10th, 2023 is progress. Progress, Progress, progress. We need to stay being productive, basically, not busy, but productive, and making that progress, even though if it's a small step, taking forward, making moving forward. Okay, and I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna introduce this word Kaizen, continuous improvement, later on. Okay, it's too much to digest right now, because this goal for me to show up here today is basically just to. I wanted just to say hello to you, and we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this every Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm gonna try to show up as much as I can, continue moving forward with this together, because I cannot do this alone, guys. I mean, we gotta have to do this together. So if you're an author, um, if you're a writer, if you're somebody out there listening to this, watching this, and saying, Nikki, I know I've spoken with many of you, and the last 3 years, and in the last 3 years, I've met so many of you through LinkedIn, Clubhouse, and then you don't have a book yet. And when you approach me, you said, you have some books, you gotta tell me how to do this, Nikki. And I engaged with you. I spoke with you in multiple occasions, and I'm so proud each one of you who had approached to me in the last 3 years. Yeah, I know you're listening, I know you're watching this. Just leave me a comment, leave me a feedback who you are, and then said, yes, you did, Nikki, and thank you. Um, I encourage you guys. Like, this is so easy. If you already have it up here, you have it up here, right? Down here in your heart. The rest should be easy. Find time, commit yourself to writing the book, because you already have it up here. All you have to do is strike a pen, get a paper and a pen, or a computer, laptop, or whatever that you have. Start typing it. Do the framework, do the foundation, do this, do that, right? That's the half the battle of being an author. The rest of the battle, right? Is marketing, distribution, basically trying to get it out there, right? But the first half of the battle, I spoke with you. Many of you are listening right now, watching me right now. I am so proud of you. I mean, just like applaud you for taking the steps after you spoke with me and say, I really want to write a book. I know a handful of you, half a dozen, okay, that I can say out loud your names. And when you post your book on your social media, and then you kind of like tag me, and then you mention my name and everything, I really am so proud of you. And keep going, because it's an addiction. Once when you're an author, you have a book, you want to write more and more. That's just like me. It's self-talk, note to self. But okay, let's go back to Friday's book club. I really want to do this. I cannot do this alone. I want to invite all of you here. Let me know. There's a small fee to get in, but I'm willing to waive that, obviously, just to get you started and everything. And we want to learn this together. And like I said, if you just jump in here right now, I'm on YouTube also. If you jump in here just right now, perhaps you don't know about the book club history. The club in Nicky, it was born out of pandemic in 2020. I wanted to be productive. I want to stay connected with all of you and have meaningful discussions. And so I started doing this. I started doing like a couple things, and I didn't believe that it's going to go, well. And I start building a couple thousand members, I believe it was, in the community. And I shut down a little bit just because I have some personal challenges in my life in the last couple of years, actually, in the last 2-3 years. But I went back up again somewhat back in 2021. I think it was during my surgery. I wanted to get back up, and then I started this book club also and collaborated with some people out there. Oh, okay, hold on a minute here. Okay. And we used to meet up at 11 o'clock a.m. I want to continue doing that again and continue this community, great community. We all have so much passion. We have purpose in our lives, and a lot of times we don't have the right channel to voice and to convey the messages. And I think through book club, We have, you know, we can collaborate obviously, and then we have that opportunity to voice and be heard basically. Um, Before I forget, okay, because sometimes I go trail the other way. Yes, I do have my book. In case you don't know, you can Google. Oh, yeah, you can Google it on Amazon. Let me go ahead and share with you. Let me see if I can do this correctly. I'm learning. I'm learning about this stuff, about technology. Oh my God, so much to. Yes, hey, my puppy here. Hold on a minute. Huh? No, 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 no. I'm live basically on all the. Like, I'm just doing my book club and just trying to invite everybody to look at the Amazon. Um, let's see. Let me. There are to date. I close the door. Yeah. Okay. Uh, always. All right. Love you. Okay. So two. Yes. I was so nice to do this. Okay. So total eight. Yes, can you believe eight? The first couple here, the first here, the audacity or veracity is really my baby. Let me show it to you. And the safety and survival. You know, let me go ahead and stop sharing this because you can see what I'm trying to do. The audacity of veracity basically here is my very first. This is an introduction of Nicky. It's basically it's a book that I dedicated to my late father. He's really I, he's he's my life basically. I mean, he's been my mentor for my 29 years of my life. Um, we lost him, um, you know, pretty early on his age. He was only 50 years of age, years old. We lost him. Um, it was yeah, it was really a tough time for me, and still miss him today. So this book is about him, and if you want to get to know me better, this is the book that you need to grab because it talks a lot about my past and how I got here and things like that. It's a great book. I don't want to give everything away, of course, but if you look at my YouTube, I talk a little bit about him, a lot about him, but a little bit of me. And then this book came around. This book came around from born out of my webinars of situational awareness, of disaster preparedness, and things like that. My work through IDARE, my community work as a founder of idarecares.org. Basically, idarecares.org has evolved with a mission to save lives, with a mission to educate and mobilize resources basically to disaster risk reduction and to save lives in different communities around the world basically. And we did that in the last couple of decades, over a couple of decades, and became a nonprofit just in 2013, if I'm not mistaken, 2012 or 2013, and then launched my first book after that. All of this is funded by my late father. All of these books are funded by my late father, who have inspired me to do the book. Let me turn this down a little bit. Uh, my very first book, to be honest with you, was the work that I did for his book because he's an author himself, and he did a book about small villages, about electricity that he implemented electricity. Basically, he was a mastermind who had started the electricity gone small villages around in the country of Indonesia, and he pioneered that. So that's a huge, big deal back then, back in the 80s, I believe. And I had the opportunity to help him publish the book and not translate because we hire a translator, but into the publication and things like that. And I typed it. Yeah, I was his secretary for a while, so I can I can redeem myself to get a ticket back to Houston. I think that was all really like a barter deal with him because he doesn't let me get away just because I'm his daughter. I have to work it. I have to work for it. I have to earn it. That's the kind of man he was. He was a PhD very genius guy, brilliant mind. Um, Reminds me of a lot of scientists, noble men that who we read, in the internet, who we read across the platform, across the world. Just brilliant. So he inspired me to write books, basically, and my first book is about him, The Audacity of Veracity, a really great book. So I was told. I think my goal when I wrote that book, not just for my father, but also to inspire people, right? Not necessarily making, this royalty and bestseller. I mean, it could be, but the way that I marketed it was that I went through my community and also my groups. Um, and, we wanted to basically convey the messages in the book that's more important for me, making the impacts, making the connection to the readers, making the connection, the readers emotional connection, and making that kind of impact, the emotional impact, where I really would like, and I really would like to invite them to make action, to take action. You know, for example, when I met a couple of people during my trips, for example, right, and I always bring the book, the copy of the book, just Audacity Veracity. Um, and people will say, "Oh my God, you're an author. Can I see?" Of course, right? And I say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the book." And they've gone through hardship in their challenges in their lives, and when they read the book, the chapter, long flight, like 6 hour flight, so they go through many chapters already, and it's like, yeah, my favorite chapter, chapter 8. um, it makes them really moved, right, and transform them, inspire them, transform them to making changes, to thinking differently in a positive way. And I think that's the priceless non-monetary reward for me as an author, as the writer of this book, because I write the book from the heart. It's not just money making kind of thing, bestsellers and things like that. That's secondary. But I think as an author myself, I don't know if you agree with this, but just me, I'm speaking from myself, right? This is note to self. And I'm just sharing this with you. My personal 3 cents is that when I do write this out of the heart, my goal is really to transform individuals, to take action, inspire them to keep moving and keep, you know, being the best version of themselves. And then when that happens and that's achieved, I'm happy. Seriously, that's what it is. All right, so this is the book. Yes, I still have a box of it. We went through many boxes because there's a lot of book signings that I've done since 2014, 2015. I started with a lot of the local community here, a lot of Starbucks. Yes, almost all the Starbucks I've gone through. It was good because all the management at Starbucks really, I love them all. I mean, they invited me. It's like, "Oh, you want to do it here?" Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, they gave me this big complimentary stuff, Starbucks this, and oh my God, they are just so wonderful human beings. You know why? Relationships and connections. That's why I go there every day. So it's connections and relationships with the local people, just human beings, and then just being human. When they invited me, and I go like, "Okay, I'll do it." um, and then the rest is history. I mean, the rest is just something that you bring yourself for forever. The connections, the people that you meet, and the people that you inspire, and people that shake hands with you, take pictures, take selfie, and whether they buy the books, most of them do. Most of them I give them away, um, and they're really into the reading. I mean, there's so many stories that I can tell you, but do go to books. What is it? Booksandcourses.nickedy.com. Go to go to that link. The books. Yeah, books. Is it books and courses? Yeah, booksandcourses.nickedy.com. Go there and then look at some of the pictures, and pictures tell 1,000 words. Um, that's my journey with this book. I've traveled. I went to Bali with this, and I went to Alaska with this. I went to Cabo, of course. I mean, I did Ruth Chris Steakhouse. twice book signing there. It was great. And the management was really, really hospitable. Everybody was just pleasant. Um, and I drank a lot of Cosmos, chocolate martinis in there while I'm book signing. Yeah, that's the best part of it. We did also, let me see. Yeah, we did a lot of donation as well. A lot of women empowerment. New York. We did like, I don't know, in the local community in Southern California. I did a lot of um, fundraising things with collaboration, partnership with other nonprofit and things like that in the women empowerment field. So great journey, rewarding experience. I never want to trade for anything else in the world. This has been a great book. Is published. The publisher's name is Ex Libris Author House. With this book during pandemic, 2020, this one was born. There should be a lot more, but this was born in April 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, this one came first. This one, the pandemic survival, came first. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, that one came first. And then the same publisher, and then this one, Dare to Live Life. This, I hang on to this for a while, and then during pandemic, I just had a little bit of time, available for writing. So I just jumped into that opportunity, and I said, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna just continue doing this, and I'm gonna finalize it. So I did with the publisher Author House. And this is it right here. I think I did some cardboards with it too because I want to do book signing at that time, but this global COVID thing wouldn't allow me to be in person to do book signing. But I did make this thing, the pandemic survival. I didn't make the other one because the other one, it was the time where, okay, we can't go anywhere, we can't be in person, we have to shut down. It's like, yeah, whatever. So I I kind of like, okay, I guess we can't do anything. We just do, webinars and workshop and Zoom and all of that stuff, and book club, obviously. So that's the two, the additional two. So that's four. I told you, right? Four. And then after that, I have made the last. Wait, and then there's crisis and emergency management. I don't know if you can see it. Let me just go ahead and share this. Let me share with you guys. You guys still here? Let me share screen. Okay. All right. So this one here, crisis management. This is really not a book. It's just an ebook. A really short. Um, trying to invite you to disconnect from this virtual, and then unplug a little bit and get back your life again. Because I've seen so many stigma on the internet, on the social media, that everybody just paralyzed. Um, analysis by paralysis. That's it. Analysis by paralysis. I can't even say it, but you know what I mean. Just invite you to unplug, enjoy the life outdoors and things like that. So this is the book Disconnect to Reconnect. The crisis management here is pretty much a book that I wanted to put out there because it's a reminder that, for one, if you're a leader, business leader, you gotta have to have the skill, right? You gotta have to lead your by example, to lead your team members and your employee staff, and the right way. I mean, the way that you gotta have to be leading by example, basically, and then know how to prepare your business in the event of any disaster. And this book is really an overview of all of those things that I talk about: crisis and emergency management. Um, and it's got the leadership sustainability, and I was introducing leadership sustainability in there, where I published this last two, situational leadership and Kaizen, just this year, last month, basically. So this is the extension. The situational leadership is the extension. Let me see if I can get, hold on a minute. Let me just get, okay, stand by. Let me just get, if I can get like a big, okay, there it is. Okay. stop sharing. Let me see if I can share this one. Okay, and then the Kaizen one. Stand by. Kaizen. It's really easy to write. I have a couple of that, but let's see. Okay, there it is, right there. Okay, stand by. Okay, hold on a minute, guys. All right, let me see if I can get share the screen here. Okay, can you guys see it? Okay, so that's a Kaizen one. Oh, this is pretty much the book, the PDF. Okay, I'm just inviting you here. It's over 300 pages long on the ebook. I mean, on the paperback. Yes, it's a fully loaded book. It's a Kaizen currency, sustainable success, the economic, ecosystemic approach to life. And this is something that really, really deep in its meaning and deep in its approach. I tie it in with the sustainability, the roadmap to sustainability. And it's a great book that we need to consider looking at it together, right? And I am creating a community through Leadership 365 in order for us to, you know, kind of like, hey, let's get together, let's talk about this, discuss this, and then implement some of these practices and these processes approaches. Because I don't know about you, I don't know, many of you don't know what Kaizen is. I know you're going to Google this. It's just great. Google it. It's an old concept, Japanese term, basically continuous improvement that has been introduced back in 1950s, right? I'm not going to go into details, but back in the 80s when I spearheaded my first management consulting, which is meta management consulting, metamorphosis, transformation, basically. I started being a change management consultant, specializing in BPR, business process engineering, where this was a trend. And it was born also, if you recall, TQM, TQA, the quality assurances in every corporate has to implement that, right? It's a total quality management, total quality, what is it, control, right? TQC in the BPR, business process engineering. And it was, at the time, it was timely for me to get in as a consultant because the businesses were going a lot of downsizing, just like what we're having right now, guys. You know, downsizing, cutting down. You know, if you remember Sigma Six, Lean thinking, still a great strategy in business, right? It's working. It's worked. It has worked before. It's working still. So I'm trying to introduce this Kaizen. It's nothing new. People who have been applying this into their working environment, part of the business landscape, part of the business practice, good for you. Continue doing that. This book talks about that. It has a lot of immense of information and case studies. And, you know, I take you also to all the way back to 70s and 80s. And then some of the my experiences that I'm sharing in that book, what has worked, what's working, and really the journey where I you know, began to familiarize what Kaizen is and how Kaizen is being applied. I think, I feel, right, that we should put this back on the table and discuss this and consider practicing again, re-engineering it, and put Kaizen, continuous improvement, the streamlining approach, right? And people are always first, by the way, people are the asset in the organization, and how we can develop a plan where everybody's involved, right? And making that change. Because one of the biggest issue that I talk about in this book, it will be the resistance to change by the C-suite level, because their perspective is quite different than the management, and then also the people who are actually doing the work, right at the bottom. Believe me, I know it all in this aspect. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've seen it all from different layers of in the organizations, right? Um, because as a consultant, you got to diagnose the company, not coming in there as a miracle worker and things gonna go honky dory next day after you've done your work with them. No, it's not. It's a matter of them taking action or what you had to advise them and guide them and like say, hey, we diagnose it. These are your symptoms, and everybody agrees on this. Everybody is on board in this. You gotta have to connect also with the guy up there. The CEO, CFO, COO, the C-suite, and directors management, and then the employees, and everybody has to be on board. Um, it won't work if the layers of this hierarchy is not connected. So and then we go back after 3 months or 6 months, and we do the continuous improvement. Also, we monitor the progress, the ROGRESS, and whether or not they take action. I think it's great that they hire us as consultant. We get paid to advise them as strategies and practices. Like, hey, we think it's this way, but I think the key is for the company themselves to take action and to make that progress. So again, whether you're a company, whether you're an individual, you know, this is the book. Directors, business leaders, CEOs, even your employees, team members. This book, take a look at it. It's got a lot of case studies. I bring you also to the ecosystemic approach to life. Some of the things, the roles, your role of self, your role of community, your role of business, as an organization as well, as an entity. There are so much information in here in this book that I want to take. There's a 3-day workshop on this. And then for a company to invite us to be on site, virtual, okay, but I think on site is way better. And to discuss this with the employees and management, and to go in there and dissect the problem and implement and how to find ways really in a Kaizen mindset and ecosystemic approach to life. And I think this is going to be a great journey for reintroduce Kaizen. And I think it's going to be successful. So this is the book that I'm talking about. Kaizen. Oh, can you guys see it? I'm looking at my screen, but you don't see it, do you? Sorry about that. Let me just share the screen again. Hey, is that? There you go. It's available on Amazon already. And let me see. Oh, you guys want to see some quotes that I did? Okay, you see it? I'll read it to you. If you can't, oops, sorry. If you can't see it, I'll read it. Oop, where is it? Okay, can you see it? A sustainable future is not a destination. It is a journey on a roadmap that requires constant navigation and adaptation to require that balance between economic development and environmental protection. I think that's a great quote, and I, kind of depicted that quote from the recent global roundtables that we have done, that we have introduced on LinkedIn also platform. And global roundtables of roadmap sustainability is a great platform to talk about this, to talk about the future basically. And then, like I said in this on this quote, there's so many quotes that I put on, and you guys certainly can quote and cite that quote and then share it in social media and tag me, obviously, so I know that it's like, oh my god, it's already been shared. The quote: sustainable future is not a destination. It's a journey on a roadmap that requires constant navigation and adaptation to reach a balance between that economic development and environmental protection. And I think, when you really look into those words combined, um, it just makes sense. I mean, it just invites you to think more in the propelling forward, to the future. All right, so that's a Kaizen. A lot to talk about on the table here, guys. And the next one that I did is, yeah, yes, it is an interactive book. Encourages business oriented, Kaizen mindset in pursuit of long term. It's a long term. We're talking about long term sustainable success. And that's why the book is titled that way. I try to pick, I changed the book title like 3, 4 times. I kept changing it. And I said, no, 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 this is what I want to say. This is exactly what's in the book. This is, I've already outlined the book. And the book has been in my mind since Roadmap to Sustainability Global Roundtable started back in 2020. Again, born out of pandemic. Yeah, once you know it, born out of pandemic. It's I started thinking, it's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. This is the ecosystemic approach. Ecosystemic approach. Everything is connected to each other, interconnected. There's a balance to all of this, and it's like, wait a minute. You know what's missing? Kaizen. Kaizen is the secret weapon ingredient to making it successful. Whatever we want to reach in the goal of the future, because it's a continuous improvement. So that ingredient, I poured it into the mix, and I said, this is the key. How we anchor for achieving the long-term sustainability, and sustainable success, basically, because we're not going to be here for like thinking of short term, right? Short term gain, short term everything. I mean, if that's you, that's okay. I mean, I'm all for that. That's fine, right? But I'm here for the long term sustainable success. So I think those are some keywords that I just share with you guys, and I hope you guys that makes sense and get it. That's okay if you don't get it. Grab the book, and you'll get it more. Believe me, everything that I am saying right now may not strike to you. That's okay, because there's a lot of things. It's very deep, and it's a roadmap for leaders. Basically, it's for all of the strategic things, and it's already there. These resources are already there. The Lean thinking is already been created. Sigma Six, value mapping, all of this already been done, right? It's a matter of just like reignite it, right? The Kaizen concept has been around since 1950s, right? It's been founded by this Japanese engineer. It's in my book, The History of it. Um, and you guys can Google this certainly. There's a lot of already, case studies that have been made. I mean, Honda, Toyota, all these Japanese manufacturing companies in automobile industry, right? But I'm talking about, yes, we can practice it. Yes, we can apply this practice into vertical markets and every markets, every kind of type of business industry. So I don't want to ramble. I want to just share with you guys some key highlights on what this book. I'm very passionate, as you can see, about this, and I just hope that this Kaizen book, through this holistic approach, can make sense to you. And if you're a business leader, and then you're making changes in your organization, I think change is good, guys. Change is constant. I think you should embrace it rather than resist. And there's a lot of opportunities in the progress, in the making. I'm serious about that, because we are going through ourselves right now because of pandemic, right? You wouldn't know until you really try it, all these things. So I'm so glad that you are here listening to this, and really listening to what I say, and then watching this live video. And I hope that it's conveyed accordingly. The next book that I'm so excited about is Sustainable Leadership. Let me see if I can get uh, the cover of it. Yes, it's already on Amazon, but Situational Leadership is this one. Okay, let me share it with you guys. Okay, let me share it. Let me share it. This book has been around. The concept of it has been around for a while. It's it's basically it's born out of workshop, out of situational awareness, and it's born out of the Leadership 365, and it has been around for a bit, basically. But I didn't make it an ebook like this one, and that's why I kind of like wait until it's timely. And I think this January, part of my part of my my goal, and as I wrote it, and I can see it from here, I think it was number three in my goals 2023. It's write two, three books in 2023, and I already accomplished that. I skated through in January, basically. So in January, I sat my ass down with all of the bits of calamities going on in my life, in my world that time. I said, no, 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 I'm going to finish this book. So I sat down really quiet about it. And then, oh, what happened to this? And then I'm going to close this. And basically, I finished the book. And it's a book, that I try to tie in with situational awareness, but I think it's a must. It's a, it, it's a comprehensive book, interactive. It's a guide basically for business leaders. That I try to provide roadmap for leaders seeking to prepare the business for any type of disasters and uh, crisis, basically, right? Anyone looking for long-term sustainability, um, and how to stay in their organization or their business companies in the face of any challenges. And this is exactly what it is, and it does require leadership skills, right? We talk about that, but I want to incorporate situational awareness, how to make that decisive or how to make that effective decision making, basically, and adaptability, in this dynamic environment, in the changing world, rapidly rather, right? So this is the book that I try to put it together, the thoughts um, of all of that. And certainly I want to incorporate situational awareness in the situational leadership, because I think that is the also secret ingredient of enhancing your leadership skills in, as a situational leader. So I hope that that really resonate. And when I was reading the book again, I changed the title like, I don't know, a couple of times, two, three times, too many. And I said, no, I want to change it this way. No, I change it this way. And I go, you know, what's really, really, really effective is to talk about, because we all need it every time, right? We all need it every day. We all need it when it comes to making that effective decision making. Um, because everybody's livelihood, and also your organization health, depending on that decision, your decision, and also your team members, I hope that you collaborate this with. So I think a lot of the skills, the listening, the reading, the making decisions, and all of these things, the telling, um, those are all traditional, baseline of the skill as a leader. I think this situational awareness, being aware of what's going on, being aware of your surrounding, being aware of your competition, being aware of all of that stuff, right? Competition, disasters, your parameters, physically, emotionally, has to be connected in all of this, because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with, lives. Um, Situational awareness is beyond just knowing your environment. It's beyond that, and I'm trying to invite you to think that way. So I think this book is a first step for you to get to know me, also, and going through my thoughts, going through the way I think and perceive in this leadership arena. And I think it's great. It's very exploring, and this is the first series of many that I'm going to. In fact, I'm already writing the next one about leadership and the Kaizen. I've already have the second part of the Kaizen in a personal mode, because that book that I'm writing right now, the Kaizen Part Two, Series Two, it's not the extension of. Yeah, it is the extension of, but more in the personal, environment. How to apply Kaizen in all aspects in their personal lives, basically relationship, money, finances, and all of these things by using continuous improvement method. I'm That book should have been published last year, before this one, basically. But when I sat down throughout the holiday, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm gonna I want to tie it in with the roadmap to sustainability on this ecosystemic approach to life, and how we can explore more in you know, the long-term sustainability part of it. So this book had to come first before this one. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you have listened, come this far to me talking and hopefully not rambling. But these are all books that is close to me, and I hope um, that you can find values in any of the books that I've written. And provided also books and courses for nickydeer.com. If you're becoming a member of the book club, you'll get discounts. I think I'm considering 50%, something like that, or 75% on the ebooks. That is, there's a lot of books before I, in addition to the ones that you see on Amazon, I do have the ebooks um, on the business books and leadership books. Those are the old ones. Those are, I mean, the previous years. But I'm writing more that relates to what's going on right now. And I love the crisis management. I love the leading, leadership through crisis, through emergency. I love talking about that, how we can prepare mentally, emotionally. And everything. All right, guys, that's it for me. I think it is almost 12 o'clock. This was not the book club session. This is just me jumping in to announce that, hey guys, I'm going to do this again. And I need you guys to also, take participation and take also engagement in this. And I would love to invite you to come here and then talk about your book as well as an author. I just don't know where I should do it, through LinkedIn Live or through YouTube like we used to. Um, and I certainly don't want to do it in audio, because a lot of you always say, no, we want to see you with the book. We got to see you with, reading the book and everything. So, yes, I agree with the video. So, either YouTube or LinkedIn Live. Let me know what platform that you prefer. But other than that, I want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here on your Friday, wherever you are, on your Friday night, your Friday morning, at Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles. It is 11:43 right now, a.m. on a Friday. So Good Friday. Is a great day outside. It's gonna get a little bit warm. What's the temperature? 67, sunny, blue sky. So, and guys, stay safe. There's a lot of things going on out there. Open this door. There's a lot of things going on, and I want to send my condolences to those who had suffered, or you know um, went through the hardship because of the earthquake in Turkey. I know my son was telling me, like, yeah, I know a friend, mom. Um, she's in the Air Force, and she's stationed there. And there's a lot of friends and families, perhaps relatives of whoever's listening and watching right now. I want to send condolences if you have lost your loved ones because of the earthquake. I want to just share that with you. Just stay safe, because all of these things we cannot predict, but we can certainly protect and minimize and reduce this potential injuries, um, from just knowing what to do and protect ourselves. And we're here in Southern California. In California, what are we talking about? Of course, fire and earthquake as well, disasters. So stay safe, guys, and just be proactive and get your emergency supplies, emergency, because really no one's going to save you except you, right? And that first hour is really critical. First few seconds really critical, and you just know what to do to prevent yourself from getting injured. Just stay safe and stay vigilant using that situational awareness also. I talked a lot about that. Okay, guys, that's it. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Friday evening. And I'm always here. I'm here to connect with you through LinkedIn, of course. I have LinkedIn and also Instagram. Yeah, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, I post it regularly as well. But it's all about, life in general and everything. But LinkedIn is really close to me. Connect with me there, and email hello@nickydare.com. There you go. You got it. If I can, yeah, it's not there, but hello@nickydare.com. Nickydare.club, a lot of people ask me, is that going to launch? Yes, pretty soon. I'm just trying to finalize the details in the background. It is going to be a membership platform. Nickydeer.com is no longer, it's no longer available. So Nickydeer.club, if you guys want to, learn more about me, because like, what do you do? What do you connect with me? I'm a human. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Connect with me and talk to me. You can send email, collaborate, partner with things that I'm doing. There's so many projects that I'm doing that you can jump in and collaborate. So that's what it's all about: networking. Continue the networking effort. Continue speaking with potential people who will be perhaps potential partner, collaborator, supporter, of course supporter, and things like that. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I have to go check out the books on Amazon, and hopefully that we can do the book club next Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we're going to start reading these books, 1-2 pages on that day. Okay. And I do look at your questions, by the way. Yes, you submit the questions. I will read the questions during my live session. Normally, I do that. There's like, you know, at one session, I read, I believe, 5 or 6, and that take up a lot of time, which is okay. But on YouTube, for example, I read your live questions as I go live. But a lot of times it's the pre-submitted questions that I would read on, on the last session. So that makes sense. Go ahead and submit that to hello@nickydeer.com. Enjoy your Friday. I have to go. Talk soon. Don't forget to check out my books. All right. I don't have the Kaizen. I know it's paperback. Amazon said lost in transit. That just tells me something. I ordered it in January 26th. Yeah, I got published 26th. I ordered it in 27th. And then I waited and finally got an email and said, oh, we can't find the book. If you you want a refund to this? And I go, no, I don't want a refund. I want my books. And they said, what was the reason? I asked them, what's the reason? They said, lost in transit. Can you believe lost in transit? I don't believe it. I mean, you mean to tell me that there's my books are getting stolen, getting robbed? I mean, wow, people really want to read my book that bad. Not lost in transit. All right, guys, enough of the jokes. I love you guys, and just that's why I don't have the book in my hand. I wish I do. Every time when I go out there, it's like that's why no, I'm not going live until I have my book in my hand. Well, here I am without the book in my hand. I just showed it to you on the internet. I just showed you on Amazon. Go look at it, check it out. If there's something that you want to read, please do. Best thing that you could do for me in return is to give me the feedback, give me your honest feedback, honest review on Amazon. That would really truly mean the world for me. All right, talk soon. Happy Friday. Talk soon. Hopefully that you connect with me on LinkedIn if you haven't yet, and also Instagram and Twitter. Talk soon, guys.